Hey guys, I'm going to repot some really cool plants today. These are Aloe parallelifolia from Madagascar. Super cool plants. I'm going to be putting them in a little bit bigger pot so they can get bigger, grow on, and flower so that I can produce seeds and make some baby plants. So, yeah, let's get started. I got a clean little tray to keep everything nice and tidy. And I'm just gonna pop them out. Trying not to disturb too much of the root system. Give it a little tap. You can see there's good roots in there. And there we go. Wow. Got a bunch of roots in here. So you can kind of see he's holding all of his roots together, or keeping all the soil together with his roots. So that's pretty cool. I'm gonna try and not mess with the roots as much as possible. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put just like a little bit of soil that looks right. I'm gonna put a little bit of fertilizer, Osmocote. They're pellets, they're slow release fertilizer, so you can kind of put them in the soil and then not have to worry about fertilizing them that often. I'm gonna take a little bit off and see how that looks. Still a little bit tall for me, so let's go see how this looks. Okay, nice. I like how that looks right there. I'll make sure and get it nice and centered. And then, you know what, we'll take it down just a little bit more. Sometimes I'd rather them sit a little bit lower than too high and be wobbling around. There we go, I like that. So, get it nice and centered so that my OCD will be happy. And then we're just gonna go ahead and fill in soil along the edges. So the soil that I use is 50% compost, 50% pumice. It is great for all your succulents. I use this for everything. I like making my own soil because I get to kind of control what goes in it. And that way I don't end up with things like peat moss or sphagnum moss in the soil, which is not very good for succulents. And peat moss is just not good in general because they have to destroy wetlands in order to get it. So if you do feel like you need peat moss, cocoa coir is another really great alternative. So you can see I kind of just got all of the soil down on the sides, nice and centered. And then I'm going to get I don't know, just something that has some mass to it and tap the sides to get some of those air pockets down. Now I'm not going to water it after I repot this, simply because most succulents, when you mess with their roots, you're creating these tiny little micro tears and stuff, and it opens them up to infection from bacteria and fungi and yeast and whatnot. So give them a few days, maybe even like up to a week, depending on where you are, to just let them kind of callus and do their thing before you give them a good soak. But the soil that I'm using, this stuff, is lightly moistened, so it's not bone dry. But I sprayed a little bit of water in there just to touch, or till the dampness felt right with my touch. But unfortunately, I don't have a lot of good advice on how to judge that other than just a tiny bit. But this is what our repotted aloe looks like. So, super cool plant, funky leaves, and hopefully he will be flowering in the near future. Fingers crossed. So let's see if we can do the other guy too. Might as well while we're here. These are great pots. I get them from a Japanese convenience store called Daiso. They're really, really rigid plastic, and they have nice sizes. So I recommend them. Let's see. This guy is, he's actually a little bit wet. So because he's a little bit wet, I'm going to hang off on repotting him till he dries just a little bit in order to prevent any root rot or anything like that from happening. So yeah, I'll be back in like a few days, and I'll post the other clip of this, or the other half of this repotting duo. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope you love this aloe as much as I do.